Welcome back to High Stakes. Today, we will be discussing the following MLB matches that are happening on Sunday, August 6, 2023. We will be providing our team, total and prop picks for the day. Before we get started, please remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. If you want access to our premium picks, you can check out our Patreon page. You can find the link to our Patreon page in the description and comments section below. Arizona Diamondbacks vs Minnesota Twins. Arizona has lost 3 of their last 4 series on the road and they were swept by the Cincinnati Reds, 59-53 SU, second in NL Central, at the Great American Ballpark last week. Their offense has struggled on the road recently, batting .203 with a .261 OBP in their previous 7 games. Adding to their woes, their pitching staff has produced an ERA close to 5 away from their home stadium during the same period. Gallen has a 2-4 record with a 4.93 ERA in away games so far this season. The Diamondbacks have lost each of Gallen's last 4 starts on the road. The Twins have won 5 of their last 7 games at home and they swept the Chicago White Sox there recently. Lopez has been effective at home recently, compiling a 1-1 record with a 2.49 ERA and WHIP under 1 in his last 3 starts. He has averaged over 12 strikeouts per 9 innings at home during that span. The Diamondbacks have lost 4 straight games against the spread. The trends support a Twins victory at home against the Diamondbacks on Sunday. Take Minnesota. The Diamondbacks are ranked 5th in the league in average runs scored per game on the road. Their pitching staff ranks in the bottom half of the league in team ERA with 4.78. They have a hefty 4.61 ERA in their last 10 games on the road. The Twins' offense is ranked 12th in the majors in average runs scored per game at home with 4.56. They also rank high in home slugging percentage, so they are capable of scoring quickly in bunches against the road-weary Arizona staff. The Minnesota pitching staff has produced a 5.02 ERA in their last 10 games at Target Field. The Twins have pushed or gone over the run total in 4 of their last 6 games at home and a total of 38 runs was scored in their last series at home with the Seattle Mariners, 58-52 SU, 3rd in AL West. The Diamondbacks have gone over in 2 of Gallen's last 3 starts. Most signs point to a higher scoring affair when these 2 teams meet on Sunday at Target. Take the over. Colorado Rockies vs St. Louis Cardinals. It is unlikely that a pitcher making his MLB debut and sporting a 5.34 ERA will have a good outing. Austin Gomber, on the other hand, has been pitching well lately, with a 3.00 ERA and a 1.10 WHIP in his last 7 games. The Rockies and Cardinals have both been scoring around 4 runs per game in their last 6 games, so the pitching matchup is likely to be the deciding factor. I would recommend betting on the Rockies to cover the run line, as they should be the better team pitching. These teams have been struggling out of the bullpen this season as St. Louis is 24th in the sport with a 4.47 reliever ERA while Colorado is 27th with a 4.87 bullpen ERA. These offenses have been doing very well since the All-Star break as the Cardinals are averaging 4.95 runs in their 21 games while the Rockies are scoring 4.61 runs in their 18 games. Go with over 9 runs in this game as it seems to be the best option. Atlanta Braves vs Chicago Cubs. This is one of the best matchups on Sunday and while the Cubs will be able to keep things close, Atlanta's talents on both sides will be too much for the home team to overcome. The Cubs are averaging 0.7 runs more per game than the Cubs and with health not being an issue, they simply will have too much offensive production for Chicago to keep up with. Steele has fallen out of form in the last start or 2 and the Braves will be able to jump on him in this one. Our team pick is Atlanta Braves money line. When looking at these starting pitchers' last 7 games, you can see they are doing well. Charlie Morton is 4-3 with a 3.43 ERA and a 1.37 WHIP over 39.1 innings, while Justin Steele is 5-1 with a 2.53 ERA and a 1.24 WHIP in 42.2 innings of work. These bullpens have been doing well this year, as Atlanta is 5th in the sport with a 3.59 reliever ERA, while Chicago is 15th as they have a 3.96 bullpen ERA. All in all, go with under 9.5 runs in this game. Miami Marlins vs Texas Rangers. Alcantara has looked more like the pitcher that won the NL Cy Young last season in his last few starts, though the Marlins' inability to put runs on the board has hampered him again in 2023. He has 5 starts this season where he threw at least 7 innings and all 2 or fewer runs that ended up without a victory. The inability of Miami to generate much in the way of offense could prove to be a problem against a Rangers team that is the most prolific offense in all of baseball. Heaney has been decent this season and is coming off one of his best starts of the year his last time out. With the major edge at the plate and playing at home, you have to back the Rangers in this contest. Despite the offensive outburst in their Saturday night clash, the under sits at 5-5 in the past 10 head-to-head meetings between these two teams, and with 2 consistent starters on the mound, it's unlikely we see that type of outburst again. For the Marlins, the under sits at 6-4 in their past 10 games, and for the Rangers, the under sits at 7-3, and with 2 potentially elite starters on the mound, this should be a very fun, but different contest to their clash last night. Keep it simple, take the under. Seattle Mariners vs Los Angeles Angels. Sunday's game is going to be a battle between promising young arms on the mound. Bryce Miller and Chase Silseth have both had success this season, and they're each capable of turning in a quality start in this matchup against the opposing offense. I'm chalking up the starting pitching as a wash, so I think it's going to come down to the bullpens and which team can come up with a big hit when they need it. Seattle has the second lowest bullpen ERA in the major leagues, and its offense has been more reliable as of late. The Angels are barely averaging below 3 runs per game over their last 8 contests, and even with the return of Brandon Drury, perhaps the injuries are catching up to them. It should be a close game, but I like the Mariners to come away with the clutch hits and the victory late in the game. I just can't trust a team, the Angels, that has had Mike Moustakas batting cleanup recently. Give me Seattle. I think this game is going to end very close to the line, considering Bryce Miller hasn't been great on the road this season, but the Angels have struggled offensively lately. The over has hit in 3 of the last 4 starts Miller has made, and the under hasn't hit in a Mariners game since last Sunday. Also, the over has hit in 5 of the 7 games these teams have played this season. The fact that Seattle traded away closer Paul Sewell last week won't help keep runs off the board late in the game either. The Angels and Mariners both ranked in the top half of the MLB in terms of home runs this season, so I'm banking on a few long balls in this game to help exceed the total. The way the Mariners' offense is clicking right now, the over seems like the play. I'm siding with the over in a 5-4 type of game that I see the Mariners winning.